Have you ever wondered why the same kind of pain keeps returning no matter how much you try to change? Why certain emotions, anger, fear, sadness, appear again and again, wearing different faces, but carrying the same energy? Why do we meet the same lessons through different people, different moments, as if life is whispering, "Look deeper. You haven't seen this yet"? Perhaps what we call karma is not a punishment from the universe, but a pattern of energy seeking to be seen.
You are here.
Every reaction, every thought, every emotion leaves an imprint, a subtle vibration that keeps moving until awareness meets it.
You haven't seen this yet.
It is not life repeating itself to hurt us, but to help us awaken to what has been left unseen. When you feel triggered, when someone's words ignite an old wound, it isn't them. It is life showing you the energy still unhealed within. Karma is not outside of you. It is the invisible thread connecting your breath, your choices, your heartbeat to the memory of the past. It weaves through our unconscious reactions, creating the same stories again and again until one moment you pause. In that pause, something changes. The cycle loses its grip. Because the moment awareness returns, the old energy no longer rules. A single conscious breath can interrupt lifetimes of repetition. You don't need to fight the darkness. You only need to bring light to it. Awareness is that light, and the breath is the bridge that carries it into the deepest part of you. So before we speak of breaking karma, pause now. Feel your breath entering and leaving. Notice how life moves through you without effort. This is where transformation begins, not by doing more, but by seeing what has always been here, the silent awareness breathing through every experience. And as you rest in this breath, a question begins to rise softly within. What is it that keeps us circling the same emotions, the same patterns, again and again? This is where we begin to see the quiet law behind all repetition: karma. Karma is often misunderstood. People think it is punishment or fate, a cosmic justice system that rewards or condemns. But karma is not moral law. It is energetic law. It is the natural echo of what we think, feel, and do. Every moment we move unconsciously, we set a vibration into motion. That vibration returns to us, not to hurt, but to help us see what still lives within our field of energy. Karma is simply life mirroring back the frequencies we emit. In truth, karma is memory in motion, an energetic residue of the past still seeking completion through the present. Every reaction that arises from fear or desire repeats the memory of separation. You may change places, jobs, relationships, but the same energy will find you again until it is seen. Life is compassionate that way. It repeats not to trap you, but to awaken you. There are 3 layers through which karma expresses itself: the body, the speech, and the mind. Through the body, karma becomes action, the habits of doing. Through speech, it becomes vibration, the tone, the rhythm, the intention behind words. Through mind, it becomes thought and emotion, the root of all other actions. When the mind is unconscious, karma multiplies. When the mind is aware, karma dissolves before it manifests. Karma survives on unconsciousness. Every time we react automatically, we feed the old energy. The cycle goes on, feeling arrow reaction, arrow reinforcement, arrow repetition. but awareness breaks the circuit. The moment you see your reaction, you are no longer inside it. That seeing weakens the link. Even one moment of awareness is more powerful than years of repetition. Karma does not live in the past. It only lives through your participation now. The past is only a shadow when consciousness is absent. When you bring awareness into this moment, the past loses its power to repeat. You don't need to undo what was. You only need to stop recreating it. Awareness ends the inheritance of pain. So the first step to breaking karma is not to resist it, but to see it clearly. Notice the patterns that keep returning, the emotions, the voices, the fears. They are not your enemies, they are your teachers. When you can look at them without judgment, they begin to dissolve, because karma cannot survive in the light of awareness. Every karmic pattern is a loop of energy. It begins with memory, a vibration from the past. That memory turns into emotion. Emotion expresses as reaction, and reaction becomes a new memory. Round and round it goes, a cycle of repetition sustained by unawareness. Most people live inside this loop without realizing it. They meet the same situation again and again, different faces, same feeling, different stories, same pain. Like waves returning to the shore, the pattern seeks resolution. But here lies the miracle. You can interrupt the entire loop in the space of a single conscious breath. Awareness is not something far away. It lives inside your next inhale. The breath is the sacred bridge between unconsciousness and awareness. When you breathe without presence, old energy continues to govern your actions. When you breathe consciously, the pattern loses its command. A single mindful breath brings you back from the storyline into the seat of the witness. In that moment, you stop being the character and become the observer. You no longer react, you see. And the instant you see, the cycle begins to dissolve. Because what is seen clearly cannot keep repeating itself. The breath does not escape life, it illuminates it. Karma survives only through identification, the belief that this reaction is me. As long as you identify with emotion, you feed it with life. But when awareness enters, that illusion softens. You start to sense that anger, fear, grief are simply movements of energy, not who you truly are. Awareness does not fight the emotion. It allows it to be seen. And what is revealed can no longer control you. The light of awareness is like sunlight touching morning mist. The mist doesn't need to be chased. It simply disappears. This is the quiet power of seeing. Karma melts not through struggle, but through understanding. Every conscious breath changes the vibration of your entire field. Inhale deeply, and new, clear energy enters your being. Exhale slowly, and the weight of old patterns releases. On the subtle level, awareness flowing with breath melts the frozen structures of energy that kept you repeating the past. Imagine a river that had been blocked. As breath moves, the dam begins to open. The energy trapped for years starts to flow again. The soul begins to remember its natural rhythm of peace. You do not have to fix what is broken. You simply need to breathe consciously and allow energy to find its way home. This is how you break the loop, not by effort, but by presence. When a reaction begins to rise, stop for one breath. Feel the body tightening, the heart beating faster, the wave of energy building. Don't run, don't fight, just breathe. Inhale, knowing. Exhale, releasing. In that single conscious act, A lifetime of habit loses its grip. Each breath seen clearly cuts one invisible thread in the web of karma. Do this again and again, and slowly the web weakens until there is only spaciousness, the open sky of awareness. You cannot break karma by force, you dissolve it by awareness. Every time you breathe consciously, you say yes to freedom and no to repetition. The breath becomes your teacher, your healer, your quiet revolution. Because every conscious breath is not just oxygen. It is light entering the body, clarity entering the mind, and love returning to the heart. When you live like this, nothing outside needs to change. You are already transforming life from the inside out. Awareness in breath turns pain into presence, reaction into wisdom, and time into timelessness. Every conscious breath is a new beginning. At first, you use the breath to calm yourself. You breathe to manage the storm, to find a small island of peace in chaos. You try to control the breath, longer inhales, slower exhales, and for a while, it helps. But one day, in the middle of a quiet moment, something shifts. You realize that the breath was never truly yours. It has always been breathing by itself. Life has been breathing through you since the moment you arrived. The more you try to control it, the less you can feel its intelligence. The moment you stop controlling, you begin to listen. And in that listening, the sacredness of life reveals itself. As awareness deepens, you see that the breath breathes itself. You are not the doer, you are the witness through which life inhales and exhales. This is the breath of awareness, the breath that belongs to no one. It is the same rhythm that moves through oceans, trees, stars, and every beating heart. When you feel this, the illusion of separation begins to dissolve. You are not an individual trying to find peace. You are peace expressing itself through a body. The entire universe is meditating through you. When you become aware of that, the boundaries between you and life quietly fade away. This realization changes everything. You stop trying to fix your life and start allowing it to unfold. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means trusting the intelligence of existence. Joy comes, you breathe with it. Pain comes, you breathe with it. Silence comes, you breathe with it too. The breath becomes a gesture of deep trust, a silent act of love. Even discomfort becomes sacred when seen through awareness. Every emotion that once felt unbearable becomes energy returning to flow. The more you surrender, the softer you become. And in that softness, you find strength. Not the strength to control, but the strength to remain open. When you breathe with awareness, energy begins to move again. What was once heavy becomes light. What was once stuck is now fluid, alive, and radiant. Emotion no longer needs to be repressed or expressed violently. It is simply seen, felt, and released through the rhythm of breath. Energy, when seen, loses density. The breath becomes the healer that restores balance without effort. Each inhale draws light into the body. Each exhale lets go of what no longer serves. This is the silent alchemy of awakening, where pain turns into wisdom and motion turns into stillness. Gradually, you stop breathing from survival and start breathing from freedom. The body still lives, but the mind no longer fights life. Reaction transforms into response. Fear transforms into clarity. The same breath that once carried pain now carries peace. Every inhale feels like forgiveness. Every exhale feels like release. And in between them, there is only stillness, a luminous gap where awareness rests in itself. You realize that what you were seeking was never outside the breath. It has always been here, waiting for you to stop running and simply be. This is the inner shift, when life stops being something to control and becomes something to trust. You begin to live as awareness itself. The breath becomes prayer. Awareness becomes home. And within that home, karma has no roots left to grow, because what is seen clearly cannot bind you anymore. When the breath becomes awareness, karma becomes wisdom. When awareness becomes your natural state, every moment becomes meditation. Every breath becomes light. And what was once effort turns into grace, the effortless unfolding of consciousness recognizing itself. This is the true awakening, not escape from the world, but intimacy with it. When the breath becomes awareness, karma becomes wisdom. In the stillness between breaths, life remembers itself. To live beyond karma does not mean escaping life. It means living fully awake within it. Karma is not your enemy. It is energy asking to be transformed. When awareness touches a reaction, it becomes understanding. When awareness touches pain, it becomes compassion. You don't have to run away from your patterns. You simply need to meet them with the quiet presence of breath. Life doesn't ask you to be perfect. It only asks you to be awake, because awareness doesn't escape life, it transforms it. And every ordinary moment, washing dishes, talking to a friend, feeling a surge of emotion, can become meditation if you stay present inside it. There are 3 pillars that sustain the path beyond karma: the body, the speech, and the mind. Through the body, move with awareness. Let your gestures be slow enough to feel. Walk consciously. Eat consciously. Be here with what you touch. Through speech, pause before words arise. Ask yourself, is this coming from fear or from clarity? When words are rooted in awareness, they heal rather than wound. Through the mind, observe each thought as it appears. Don't follow it. Don't fight it. Let it pass like clouds across an open sky. When seen clearly, thoughts lose their power to shape karma. Begin each day with 3 conscious breaths. In the morning, inhale, aware that you are alive. Exhale, releasing yesterday. At noon, inhale, feeling whatever emotion is present. Exhale, without judgment or control. At night, inhale, knowing all karma dissolves in awareness. Exhale, in gratitude for this day. Just 3 breaths, simple, sincere, yet powerful enough to change the rhythm of your entire field. If you do this daily, you'll begin to sense how awareness quietly reshapes destiny. Because even the smallest act done with presence carries the vibration of freedom. When you are among people, practice breathing instead of reacting. Someone may misunderstand you, judge you, or say something unkind. Pause. Feel the energy rising inside, the urge to defend, to explain, to fight. Don't act from it. Just breathe through it. This is not weakness. This is mastery. To stop reacting is not weakness. It is wisdom. When you stop feeding the vibration of conflict, the energy returns to peace. And in that peace, you often find a deeper love than words could ever express. As awareness deepens, the breath becomes your constant companion. Whenever you forget yourself, it calls you home. Whenever you fall into thought, it whispers, "Here." To live beyond karma is to stay connected with this friend. The simple rhythm of life moving through you. Each conscious breath anchors you in the now, the only place where transformation happens. You stop chasing outcomes and begin to live from presence. Every inhale becomes a receiving. Every exhale becomes a letting go. And between them, you discover stillness, the place where freedom lives. Living beyond karma does not make you immune to life. It makes you intimate with it. You still feel joy and sorrow, but they flow through you without leaving a trace. You no longer seek control. You trust the rhythm of existence. Peace no longer depends on circumstances. It arises naturally from the space of awareness itself. You don't need to end karma. You just need to stop feeding it. When you live like this, every breath becomes a prayer, every act becomes meditation, and every encounter becomes an opportunity to bless. This is the quiet freedom of one who lives awake. When you live with awareness, every breath becomes a prayer. Awareness doesn't escape life, it transforms it. We have walked together through seeing, breathing, awakening. From understanding karma to dissolving it through awareness to breathing as life itself. Now the path leads home, into silence. Nothing outside you needs to change. Every transformation begins and ends within this breath. Each time you choose awareness over reaction, stillness over control, you are already free. Freedom was never in the future. It was hidden inside this moment. The breath has been your guide, not leading you anywhere, but showing you what has always been here. The quiet presence behind all experience. Freedom does not come through effort. It arrives when effort ends. You cannot chase peace. You can only stop running from it. The more you try to be pure, the more the mind divides itself. The more you try to be free, the more you resist what is. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means ceasing to fight the flow. When you stop grasping, life begins to move through you naturally. The wave does not need to escape the ocean to be free. It only needs to remember that it was never separate. Freedom is remembering that you were never trapped. True peace is not the absence of challenge. It is the absence of resistance. When the breath slows and awareness becomes clear, you begin to see that nothing has ever been against you. Every emotion, every event, was life teaching you how to wake up. You are not broken. You are simply unaware of your wholeness. When awareness meets pain, pain turns into light. When awareness meets thought, thought turns into silence. In this stillness, karma cannot survive, because what is fully seen cannot bind you anymore. Let this silence walk with you. Let it breathe your words, guide your hands, soften your heart. When you speak, breathe. When you listen, breathe. When you feel sadness, breathe. Each conscious breath is a silent prayer that transforms energy into light. You are not escaping life. You are sanctifying it through presence. The world does not need your perfection. It needs your awareness. And when awareness shines through you, it blesses everything it touches, without intention, without effort, like sunlight upon water. Imagine now your breath as a soft, golden light flowing from the center of your chest. With every inhale, you receive life. With every exhale, you bless it. The light expands, touching the people you love, the earth beneath your feet, the quiet corners of the world you may never see. Nothing is left outside this light. No pain, no story, no past. Everything is forgiven, because everything is seen. This is the sacred rhythm of freedom. No beginning, no end, only the eternal breath of awareness itself. And now, rest in the silence behind the breath. There is nothing to reach, nothing to fix, nothing to become. The seeker dissolves into stillness. The doer dissolves into being. The breath becomes light. The light becomes awareness. And awareness becomes love. This is liberation, not an event, but a quiet recognition of what has always been true. The breath doesn't end karma. It transforms it into light. Every conscious breath is liberation itself. So breathe now, not to get anywhere, but to remember. You were always free. Every conscious breath is liberation. The silence within you is the freedom you seek. Free you.